Hey guys!
Welcome back to Bunkus Custom Bikes.
So today we have put together kind of a special video. I know we've been on a little bit of a hiatus with the holiday. For our international viewers, we just celebrated Thanksgiving here in the US. I don't think any of my viewers so far are international, but maybe one day we'll get there. So today, the Goldwing is done. So this is the 1979 Honda Goldwing GL1000 that I've been building up, and then I've affectionately named the Gold Racer, and she is done.
And for sale. Please buy it.
No, please don't. So Mrs. Bunga agreed to come out and help us put together a little walkthrough video of it. So I'm going to show you how it went. You did, that's why you're here.
Oh no.
I'm going to show you how it went, what we did to build it, all the parts that have gone into it, and then I'm going to do my best in the description of the video to try and put together a list of all the different sites and brands I used on this build. So if you see a part that you really liked, you can kind of go and source that out on your own. So I'm going to get Mrs. Bunga behind the camera and we're going to go over it. Alright, so we'll start from the front if my camera woman wants to come over. So the front of this motorcycle, it is an 08 Hayabusa forks and an 08 Hayabusa front wheel. Now I did this conversion with a kit from Cognito Moto. They're based here out of Virginia. They're in Richmond. They make a lot of really cool parts. And really, the only part I got from them was the top clamp here. The actual bearing conversion kit in the stem is going to be from All Balls Bearings and All Balls Racing. Excuse me. The brakes are original to the Hayabusa. The brake lines are custom brake lines from TC Bros. A lot of my parts I like to get from them. And I didn't give a disclaimer at the beginning of the video, but any of the parts and brands I use, I am not affiliated with. They're not paying me to say anything, so everything I say is my own opinion. There's my disclaimer. So moving up from the fork to the wheels, we've got the headlight from Speed Moto Co. They have this beautiful teardrop headlight bucket that also comes with this really cool mounted in GPS that runs off of satellite. So it's a GPS speedometer. It doesn't give you directions like a GPS would, but it is the speedometer. With the front end, I really liked the gold on black that I got from the Hayabusa fork. Since that's kind of the color scheme I was going with here, was the gold on black. I was actually even able to get, these are just some rotors off eBay, the gold and black on the rotors as well. That made me pretty happy. Moving across, we'll talk about the paint real quick. So this paint is a gold and black pearl. So it's a black paint with gold pearl powder in it that gives us a nice, real iridescent kind of gold reflection that you can see really well in the sunlight. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it on the video or not, but
No, you can.
it gives it this real nice gold reflection. And I got that from thepaintstore.com, as well as the Egyptian gold that I used for the racing stripes on it. The engine is obviously the GL1000 engine off of the Goldwing. It's a boxer style engine, so it's just a little bit different than most engines. And I didn't really do a whole lot of work to it. I opened it up, cleaned the cylinders out, I honed the cylinders. I didn't really have to do a lot of work to the engine. It got all new gaskets, so head gaskets, the valve cover gaskets, all that. The carburetors got completely stripped out, taken apart, cleaned, and then put back together. It's got custom spark plugs. The only problem with these plugs is that they are arcing to the block. Right here where you can see it's exposed, they are arcing over to the block. So I am going to have to end up covering those up with a boot just to keep it from arcing to the block and misfiring. The bike itself, so if anyone's familiar with the GL1000, it has a faux fuel tank up top here. And what that does is it basically is a storage compartment, it's the air filter, it's everything like that. And the actual fuel tank sits about here in the actual motorcycle. Well, that doesn't work for a cafe racer. So we took the other fuel tank out and we put a real fuel tank into it that actually gravity feeds to the engine, as most motorcycles do. With the stock Goldwing, it feeds into this pump here, and then that pump feeds to the carburetor. All right, so moving on from the fuel, I'll move on down to the brake here. So all it is, it's the stock brake, stock master cylinder that I got this, I just had a brain fart, rear set off of TC Bros again. They collaborated with another brand and it's off of TC Bros. It's just a universal rear set that you can use pretty much on any motorcycle you need. It comes with the shift lever, it comes with the bolts to actually put it together, and then I fabricated up a linkage to actually go to the brake lever. While we're on this side, we'll talk about the cooling system. So it's the stock radiator, stock cooling system. Only thing I changed is this is my coolant overflow, or the reservoir tank. It's just some DOM tubing that I welded some caps onto, drilled a hole in the top for the tube, and then drilled and tapped for the sight glass here to actually see how much coolant you have. So if we want to come around to this other side, Mrs. Bunga. So down here is the linkage for the shifter. And again, same thing, it's just the rear sets from TC Bros. It does come as a pair. And it actually, you can buy their universal linkage set, and that comes with this steel tubing here to actually go from the rear set down to the shifter, which you're not gonna be able to see because that's covered by the exhaust. And speaking of the exhaust, the Goldwing stock exhaust is what I have here. I just welded some exhaust tubing and then screwed a baffle into it just to kind of quiet it down and put some back pressure on the carbs. And that's the exhaust. If we want to come back around to the other side, sorry for making you walk so much, Mr. Bunga. We did a monoshock conversion on it. The Goldwing is a dual shock bike. It is a sprung rear end. So we went ahead and did a monoshock conversion. So we've got the shock off of a 2004 CB660RR. I wanted to try and stick them as much with Honda as I could. So that is the stock shock. Now the difference is that the Goldwing weighs twice as much as the 660. So I had to get a spring that was twice the strength. So I got this spring from RACER. They are awesome. Again, not affiliated with them, but they are awesome. They worked with me to figure out what my spring rate needed to be, what the spring weight needed to be, and everything for the bike. And they shipped them out. Their prices are fair. Can't recommend them. All right, moving on from the spring, we'll go to the frame. This is the stock GL1000 frame. It just extends a lot further back. So it got hacked and cut. I welded some caps onto the tubes here. Built a custom hoop for the seat. I've got another support hoop up here and that you can't see, but I do kind of like that floating look that it's got there, and it gives a spot for the reservoir for the shock. We fabbed up a little mount for the seat and the tank. The seat is from Cafe Racer Web Shop. It's just their plastic shell, comes with the leather pads, or it's probably faux leather. And the battery is tucked up underneath the rear hump here. The battery is from Anti-Gravity. It's a 12 cell, and that's the size you need to actually get enough cold cranking amps for this motor. The electronics is the X21 from NWT America. I did film a video previously that y'all got to see about the X21. Again, can't speak highly enough of them. They're awesome, they're very attentive, and when I was having troubles with some of the electronics, they actually sat on FaceTime with me and worked through and troubleshot some of the issues. It turned out that the unit they sent me was bad, and without any questions asked, they sent me another one. So, cannot speak highly enough of them. I've got these LED turn signals and brake lights. Those are just off of Amazon, to be completely honest with you. And rear brake. And other than that, that is the Goldwing. If anybody has any questions, I'd be more than happy to respond to any questions or comments in the videos. If not, I'll link my email on the video and you can reach out to me. I'm gonna get some footage riding it, and I'll try my best, just so everyone can hear what it sounds like and see it running, see it moving. So, stand by. Alright, so I know we saw it running in the coolant flush video, but I figured I'd get it running again just so everyone can hear it and see it. I'm revving it up a little bit right now because it's cold, and that's why she's backfiring. But here she is running. I'll see if I can get some video of me riding it without dying. She rides pretty good, and she is mighty fun. I know she's smoking behind me, and that's just the coolant that got into the exhaust wrap. That's all good. But anyways, I hope you guys liked the video. The Gold Racer's done. Stay riding, friends.